Living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hey, I'm FTFE, welcome back to the channel that has literally killed stupidity, so much so that it doesn't want to come around anymore. I've only been here for 2 years. I had sloppy seconds from this guy. Reds, it appears you and I are too good at our job.
Is it that, or is it... Now, this is a possibility. Hear me out here. This is just a possibility. But it could be that they just don't know how technology works.
I mean, that is always a chance, especially if I ask them to connect to vMix and they get all confused. Some even claim that I'm trying to hack them. Because that's exactly how hacking works. I send you a link to vMix.
vMix link is how you hack people.
I'm no computer scientist, but I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. But yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Craig. They totally exposed you with that one. We need to call Snowden. He's got to put this in his next book, guys.
Shh. We're not allowed to tell everyone about our link with Snowden. We get in trouble with NASA.
Oh, I see. That's how it works. Okay. Well,
yeah.
If you're in contact with NASA, can you please tell them to send me my check? They've been ignoring my emails.
Red says, can he get his check? Yeah, I know one of you saw his face. Well, yeah, maybe you can just like send a drone or something.
Oh, if they're going to be heading around this way, tell them I want a #1 large, extra Big Mac sauce. The Coke must have no ice in it because I know their fucking game. Just
wait. A #1 large is like chicken chow mein. Why do you want extra Big Mac sauce in that?
You know what, Craig? You're dead to me.
Well, the guy we were going to debate tonight, he calls himself Blessings, aka Sizzle Deft. He described himself to me as an upcoming Christian flat Earth rapper.
What?
Yeah, you didn't stroke out there, Reds. I did say that. He described himself to me as an up-and-coming Christian flat Earth rapper.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in order to become a successful rapper, you need to be able to operate technology to some extent. I mean, you know, putting the beats together and making sure everything lines up correctly, you know, in post. That requires technology. So
there is some flat Earth rappers. Have you heard of Multi-Tom-Tom?
I have heard of Multi-Tom. Oh fuck! Is he actually rapping now?
Oh goodness me! Yes, very much so. Let me just quickly grab you just a
Craig,
tiny.
I swear to Jesus, if you play that shit while I'm here, I will leave. I will fly my happy ass during COVID to your place just so I can kick you square in the balls.
You know, I have to do it extra now, right?
I will do it.
All right, in your own time, Reds, go and check out Multi-Tom-Tom, because, oh, wow. All right, chat, if you could describe Multi-Tom-Tom's rapping in 3 words, go ahead and try. That would be fantastic. See, and then Reds can get some kind of idea. But so the guy we were going to debate tonight called himself an up-and-coming Christian flat Earth rapper. I mean, maybe there is a Christian flat Earth rapper scene, and out of that scene, he is up-and-coming. But that means his mum and his sister both bought his record. I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't. No. Just know though. There's so much nope There's so much nope in that statement. No,
all the
just
nope.
no. The dude can't even click a link, and I'm supposed to believe that he can actually rap worth a damn.
Right. So let's have a look at the evidence that this guy, because I've been talking to him all day, right? I've been talking to him all day, and he was really up for it, and even sent me. Well, when I say evidence, I am saying evidence like this, and here's the evidence that he sent me. So these are my 2 debate evidence, he says. First one is this. I'm not to put you on the spot, Reds, but I don't know how you were going to debunk this.
That is interesting, I guess, maybe. Huh.
Can you argue with it? I mean,
I'm not sure. Is it the ice wall kind of looks like it's wavy, kind of like a really expensive China dinner plate?
Yeah, it does look like the outside of some kind of dinner plate, doesn't it?
It really does. So, is he saying
is the
that
ice wall 45 degrees now?
So basically, God was like, "I shall make the earth, and I shall make it look like a hand-me-down plate that you buy at the thrift store."
Yeah, I wouldn't buy that plate. So the other thing that confused me about this is he's just written the word water on blackness. But, I mean, Reds, correct me if I'm wrong here, but last time I poured a glass of water, it wasn't black.
Yeah, about that.
And stars and planetary bodies inside dome. So when you recorded your video of SpaceX sending people to space, did they hit a dome, or did they then end up attached to the International Space Station?
I can assure you that no dome was struck, otherwise the rockets would, fucking explode. I can also assure you that the station wouldn't be able to travel through water at 4.7 miles per second.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to call bullshit on this whole water and space thing. I mean, there is like icy bodies in space, but not all of space is water.
Definitely not. Now, I'd have to do the maths to confirm this, but what's the tangential velocity of the ISS again?
Again, if you want to talk about its orbital velocity, it's 4.7 miles per second.
Right. I think if there was something traveling in the water at 4.7 miles per second, I'm pretty sure that would cause a nuclear explosion.
Yep. Let's go ahead and make sure we do this correctly, because some people are yelling at me in the chat, and I'll go ahead and make them satisfied. Okay, Google. 4.7 miles to kilometers.
4.7 miles is 7.564 kilometers.
So 7.5 kilometers per second.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that going through a medium as dense as water would cause some kind of nuclear explosion.
It would basically make it so that the ISS becomes obliterated to the point of non-existence.
Yeah. Last time you saw the ISS transit in the moon, was it followed by or preceded by several nuclear explosions?
It was not. No, absolutely not. It was not preceded by explosions or a wake. No,
Right.
nothing like that.
And it wasn't.
And
It
the
wasn't
thing is that-
disintegrating either.
Yeah, it wasn't disintegrating. It wasn't on, fire or anything like that. It was just whoop right across the face of the moon.
Yeah.
Because this is a radical idea, but hear me out here. Maybe, just maybe, it wasn't traveling in water. It was traveling in a vacuum.
I mean, you'd have to tell me that you and a friend calculated the distance to it for that to be true, Reds.
Oh yeah. Funny story about that, actually.
Oh shit! Yeah. Wait. Crap. Right, so yeah, that was his first bit of evidence. The other bit of evidence that he sent me was this very strange picture, which appears to be a cartoon of our solar system with a red cross and the word debunked on it.
Wait a minute. Debunked. Milky Way does not actual real standard?
Yeah, apparently.
What the fuck?
I mean, this feels like talking to a flat earther. Just looking at this picture feels like talking to a flat earther.
So wait a minute. Is he saying that there's let me find this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 planets in the orbit of Venus?
I guess so.
I can also assure you that Mercury is not bigger than the sun, and
why is the moon the actual same size as the sun? I mean, I know they look that size, but
he's.
I would agree with him. I'd agree that
this is a disaster, but I think for different reasons than what he was going to explain.
Yeah, I agree. This definitely has been debunked. I would love to hear his explanations behind this.
This is bullshit, but like I said, for different reasons than whatever the fuck he was going to bring up.
And then the other evidence he wanted to bring up was a bunch of Bible verses, and I mean,
he was that kind of moron.
To quote Professor Dave, so a book says a thing.
Okay. You see, here's my biggest problem with religious flat earthers. They constantly harp on us arguing from authority, be that NASA, SpaceX, ULA, Lockheed Martin, any entity that has actually gone to space or has shit in space. If we reference what they have been able to accomplish, that is seen as arguing from authority, even if that authority is fucking legit. But they can argue from the holy book, and that somehow is okay, and totally not an argument from authority.
Yeah.
But like, what we're doing, or what we would do if we did reference NASA, would be arguing from authority, but they can argue from the Bible, and that not be an argument from authority. It's a clusterfuck.
Yeah. So the other thing is that for us to take any evidence from the Bible, first of all, it would all have to be based on actual what the Bible says and not an interpretation of what it says. And not once does the Bible actually say the words flat earth. But we'd also have to be 100% sure that the Bible is full of only absolute truths. And just off the top of my head, I can think of a few. I mean, there definitely wasn't a global flood. Pi isn't 3. And, you know, it's definitely not okay to beat your slave and stuff. So, oh, and the sun didn't stop in the sky. The Egyptians and stuff that were there around the same time just happened to witness a solar eclipse around the same time that guy said that God stopped the sun in the sky. So yeah, the Bible's full of a bunch of stuff that isn't true. So why should we accept a cherry-picked passage that could possibly be interpreted as saying the Earth might not be a globe as evidence of anything?
I mean, it's like, oh, I have the corners of the Earth, but it's a fucking circle. It's a dinner plate, but I gave it fucking wavy edges like cheap china at a thrift store, so there's a corner there somewhere, people. There's a fucking corner, and you assholes, you gotta fucking find that shit. Is that what we're going with?
That's about right. I know some people argue with me about the whole Bible says that pi is 3, but it does. I know cubits weren't a precise unit of measurement, but in a project, a cubit would be the same. And pi, the circumference and it's not 3. It's 3.141. And according to what the Bible says, pi would be 3. But again, the whole thing about the Bible is that it's pure interpretation. Just that's all it is, just interpretation. I interpret that as the Bible saying that pi is 3. Other people might disagree. I don't think either of us could ever say that we were right, because the Bible is fucking pointless and not real. So that was the evidence he was going to present, Reds. Do you think he would have struggled?
I mean, you know what? He probably would have fucking destroyed me.
Yeah, I reckon. I don't see how
He
you
would
could
have,
debunk
he would
any
have
of it.
absolutely obliterated me. That I would stand no chance against a genius like him. That dude,
Sizzle
the dude
Deft,
that you were supposed to bring to the table and feed me, but is kind of a no-show.
Yeah,
I'm starving.
You are hungry. Sorry about that, but should we have a look at some other flat earthers stuff instead? Because that absolute waste of oxygen, Nathan Thompson, he's kind of back.
Oh, has he taken a break from harassing school children?
Oh no, he's definitely still doing that. He put a video out the other day about red pilling the youth. He's definitely still harassing kids on the street, even during a fucking pandemic lockdown. So
basically, as soon as school is back in session, you can assure yourself, ladies and gentlemen, that the cops will be called, because there's going to be this crazy jackass screaming flat Earth nonsense at all the kids from the side of the road.
Yeah. So his YouTube channel got deleted, as well as his Facebook group getting deleted. I mean, I can never get bored of that, obviously.
I'm just God. There should every single school in the country should have a fucking restraining order on that piece of shit. Just saying.
Absolutely, you're 100% right. He should stay away from children.
Like
He's
a
a
court
fucking
order
danger.
that says you are not allowed to go within 500 feet of a school. Eat a dick. Yeah. Boom.
When I asked Nathan for a comment, he said this. Oh, did that not come through? Shit. Failed.
Silence is not something I would expect from Nathan.
No. Why is that not coming through? Let me check.
You had one job.
I did have one job, and I failed with it. Well, never mind. Fail. Nathan says that he dated a first grader when he didn't really mean to say that, I think. Anyway, yeah, so his YouTube channel got deleted, his Facebook group got deleted, and he started a new YouTube channel called Be The Change. Now, Red, he had nearly 16,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, so assuming they were all real and active people and not sock accounts and stuff, if he started a new YouTube channel and let everyone know, how many subscribers do you think he would get?
I would hope 0, but apparently I was wrong on that.
Yeah, but knowing, say you lost your channel, I lost my channel, and we started a new one, and let people know, and got them to resubscribe. I think I'd probably get back about 15,000 subscribers and have to work back from there. And you'd probably get the same, right?
I'll say 10 maybe.
Yeah. So if he had 16,000 and he started a new one, I'd say he should get at least 6,000 or 7,000 back maybe. But at the moment his channel's sitting at 477 subscribers and he's getting about 100 views on each video.
Sucks to be him.
Yeah, does anyone know who Nathan Thompson is, or?
He's just that crazy flat earther that likes to scream at kids.
It's the same.
He likes to scream at school children when they're having their day on the playground.
Yeah, because he's a fucking weirdo. And the same with his Facebook group, which had 125,000 researchers, he called them. Yet his new Facebook group's only got, 4,000, I think, at the most. What happened to the 125,000, Nathan? Where'd they all go? It's strange.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But he posted a... We're probably not going to spend long here tonight because the flat earther went away. But I just wanted to have a quick look at this video that he posted, how to prove you're not on a spinning ball. Because he's posting a lot of funny stuff. And that's how we have to look at his content. It's just pure comedy. Apart from when he harasses children, that should be reported instantly.
Mm-hmm.
But when he actually tries to prove the Earth is flat, that shit's fucking hilarious. So he posted this video, I think, of one of his friends in the hovel of the back garden that he lives in. I'm not sure. Let me get this up.
This video goes out to all you ballers. Ballin'!
That's us, Reds, we're the ballers.
I hate this question. They say, if the Earth's flat, why don't we fall off the edge? Why don't the water run off? And I ask them, the ballers, why doesn't the water fall off a ball and when you spin the ball?
I mean, I think we all know the answer to that, don't we, Reds? But there's only one man that can give the answer in the best way.
Gravity,
Yeah, of course,
you
yeah.
fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
Please, retard,
Perfect.
do continue.
Well, let's see. What do y'all really think makes sense? Logically, let's use our brain here.
Now, just looking at this from an outside perspective, Reds, and the first 40 seconds where he's been talking, does this sound like a man that you would want to take any advice about the physical world on?
He kind of looks like one of those dudes that stormed the Capitol. Just saying. He looks like one of those dudes that I would instantly put on the no-fly list.
Yeah. That he worries me. I wouldn't trust him with anything. Maybe to sell me some weed at the most. Even then I'd be checking the weight.
No. He doesn't look like the weed guy. He looks like the moonshine guy.
Oh shit, yeah. The one that uses a lot of his own product.
Uh-huh, exactly. You know, that the kind of shit that as soon as you take a sip, it would, knock you on your ass. He's like, oh, trust me, dude, this is some good shit. This fucking liquid can tranquilize a horse.
All right, let's listen to his inebriated ramblings a little bit more.
Here's a bird bath. You have a nice
I don't want any birds bathing in that. That looks fucking disgusting.
round bowl that holds in
I like the action with the watering can there, lifting up as high as he can get it, like it's going to make a difference.
That is some style right there.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
Well done.
For
Putting the
style.
effort in. Putting the fucking effort in.
That is just fucking sexiest man alive right there.
Also perfect examples of gravity, but anyway.
all the oceans. See how it's holding the water in? It's not running off the edge. And why don't we ever get near the wall? Well, because all of our islands rise right here. All of our 7 continents are right here. We don't go nowhere near over there. Now, see how that makes sense? It's stationary and it's flat. But this is what these ballers try to say. They try to say, this is what it sticks to. Well, let me test this out. Maybe they're onto something. Let's see. Remember, this guy's carpet on it. It's a tennis ball.
I just want to say to everyone watching that I do apologise for the injuries you probably just got from face palming. And also a little bit of news, the Flat Earthers just messaged me. So there may still be a debate. We'll see.
Oh, are we actually going to have a debate?
Possibly.
I mean, oh, and just a quick note here. I never said that the Earth is a fucking tennis ball. Just saying.
No, I don't think anyone ever says that the Earth is a tennis ball, really. That would be a very
The
silly
Earth
thing to say.
is not like a tennis ball. Just making that fucking clear.
Right. Sorry, just replying to the Flerf. I think he will be joining in about 15 minutes.
Hold the water some. Look at that, it drips right off. Now, since you got all this carpet, it is holding some water. But if we do a little movement, it comes right off. This is really what they want you to believe. This is what the ballers want you to believe. They want you to believe that your little water rock testicles that's soaking wet somehow stays on.
How fast does he think the Earth spins?
I guess fast enough to destroy all life on Earth.
Yeah, I mean, by far.
Fucking Christ. You know, and listen. I'm just saying, if the Earth were to speed up like that, and they actually made a movie about it, I don't think the fucking Iron Man or the Hulk would be able to save us from that shit. Just saying.
No,
I think Bruce Willis would be really, really fucked in that scenario. Just saying.
even Superman spinning, flying around the Earth the other way to try and counter that rotation couldn't fucking help.
I mean, jeez.
Flat Earthers don't understand scale, do they, Reds?
No, they don't.
I could have finished that sentence that Flat Earthers don't understand, do they, Reds?
Do you really have to ask?
No.
Do you?
No.
It's like saying, it's kind of like saying, would you like fries with that? If you even have to ask, then you're doing it wrong. Of course I would like fries with that, motherfucker. Yeah. With ketchup.
Oh man, someone said to me earlier.
Ketchup on my fries.
Someone said to me earlier, Flat Earthers are only good for working at McDonald's and Burger King, and I have to thoroughly disagree. I don't want these people making my food, thank you very much.
No. I'll be like, I asked for a Big Mac, and you gave me what looks like some raccoon ejaculate that streamed out of a log.
You have a way of putting things in a graphic visual nature that means that I won't eat for the next 12 hours. Thank you.
I'll be here all week.
Now, I don't know
anything
if this is going faster than 1,000 miles an hour. But I know one thing. It ain't holding the water onto the ball. And remember, I'm not doing this in space. I'm doing this right here on Earth where there's supposedly gravity.
But that ball doesn't have any more gravity than the Earth. Oh my god.
This just in. Flerf, who attached a tennis ball to a fucking drill from DeWalt, says that there's more gravity on the fucking tennis ball than there is on the fucking Earth.
It's
cool.
So
look at me, guys. I attached this fucking tennis ball to this DeWalt drill that I got at Home Depot, and I'm going to explain you how this here tennis ball has more gravity than the fucking Earth.
How do you think he'd react if we asked him to calculate the centrifugal force of the Earth spinning versus that ball spinning?
He would probably try to sell you some moonshine.
I don't think
just immediately ignore your question.
Yeah. Anyone, people asking in the chat, this is someone that Nathan Thompson thought that it would be a good idea to have on his channel as a collaboration, because Nathan Thompson thinks that this guy is smart.
What can you get with a DeWalt drill, a tennis ball, and a dirty as fuck bird bath? You get
herpes?
A flat earther video on the fucking Nathan Thompson channel.
Oh my god. Yeah, so don't subscribe to Nathan's new channel, Be The Change, but do feel free to go over there and mock the videos quite a lot. I'm going to be doing that. He seems to be uploading a bunch of his old stuff as well, so luckily that comedy isn't lost to the world, although I do have most of his videos downloaded anyway. Let's see how this Flerf is getting on. Let me connect my app first. I should still have... What do you mean connect your app? All you need to do is open a browser, because I'm going to send you a Google Meets link.
Oh boy, this is going to be painful. So, should I actually get ready now?
Yeah, I'd say so. Get some clothes on. It might help.
Okay, all right, understood. Hang on, let's see. Let me find out where that is. I'm missing underwear. Where is it?
Reg, you're from Florida. You don't wear underwear.
Well, it's not just that. It's also my pants and everything.
So are you just naked again?
I mean, should be here, just isn't.
All right. So now I'm not guaranteeing that the debate's going to happen because even though I have literally just spoken to the flat earther, there's a chance he will forget that he spoke to us, see something shiny, get confused. You know.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
What was I doing? Oh, what's that? It's pretty. That's a rock. It's a pretty rock. Weren't you doing something? Pretty rock. So, possibly. Now, we've already seen his evidence, so Reg, you should be prepared for your rebuttal.
Oh boy.
I'll just read the few super chats that are there. C4 for $2 says, "Play it. I need a good laugh." No, I couldn't do that to you and play Multi Tom Tom's raps. It's actually painful. Alan, and I'm going to ruin your name. I do apologise. Alan Bupre for $2 Canadian says, "FTFE and Red fit like pizza and pineapple." That could have been him requesting access to join. 2 secs.
Oh, great. He's only an hour late.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, am I through to Craig?
Yes, you hear us.
Yeah, this is Blessing. Sizzle Deft.
Blessings. Is that how you want me to refer to you? Blessings, yeah?
Sorry?
Is that what you want me to call you during the debate? Blessings.
Yeah, call me Bob. Sizzle Deft. Just Sizzle Deft, okay.
Sizzle Deft. Right, yes. Yeah, I did explain how you told us that you're an upcoming rapper. How long have you been doing the rapping?
Come again?
You told me that you were doing some music. You were an upcoming rapper or something?
Yeah, but not generally a rapper. Just a musician.
How long have you been doing it?
Since time immemorial. It's been many years.
Okay. Right. Okay,
I'm planning to have a break.
Let's just get this started. I'm going to pass it over to you. You can have 2 minutes, introduce yourself, and explain why you think the Earth is flat. Is that all right?
Okay, I'm right. I'm live now?
Yeah, we're live now.
Okay. So we are dealing with two things here. Moon landing and globe Earth. So I'm sub-Saharan African, based in Zambia, born and raised in a Christian family, a network engineer by pro, and psychosocial medical counselor. So I did advanced computer science, not based on NASA, but good science as we know it. So that's truly meant to better life. They not waste trillions for what they
people can't understand.
Yeah. Are you able to speak up a little bit, buddy? Just try and be a little bit clearer. You're coming through a little bit muffled.
Hello, how clear am I now?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. So I start afresh?
Yeah, go on, start fresh. Yeah, just try and be nice and clear.
So, alright, so I'm sub-Saharan African, based in Zambia, born and raised in a Christian family, a network engineer by profession and pro psychosocial medical counseling. So I did advanced computer science, not based on NASA, but good science as we know it. Science not based on, scientific research, which is just made to waste trillions for what may be possible to achieve 100 years from now. So as the Bible says, do not worry about tomorrow. And certainly 100 years is way too much a definition of tomorrow. You should be doing things that can work in the now. So yeah, that's a little bit of me. I'm a musician,
Okay.
I do, yeah, all sorts of genre. I do anything which sounds terrific. Sure. So I'm not a rapper, I'm not a singer.
So you just
Yeah,
do whatever you
yeah,
need to. All right. Okay.
exactly.
All right.
One
Excellent.
other
So
thing,
yeah, go on.
ju- just to support the theme for this, in a flat earth movement society, anchored down south of Africa.
Say that again. Sorry.
Though I haven't been yet, though I haven't been yet there, but trust me, that we are growing strong.
Right. Okay. So you think the flat Earth movement is growing? Lovely. Okay. So
Very much.
you're going to be
Growing.
talking to Rhetoric, who is a seasoned debater. Reg, just want to take a minute, introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm going to start off by saying that I will do my best to have a conversation with you, but you're going to have to speak up because it's very difficult to understand what you're saying. But to introduce me, I'm just going to say hello and welcome, I guess, to tonight's debate, maybe? Oh, well. I want to thank Fight the Flat Earth for hosting this debate and for moderating this debate. I'm once again tasked with showing how the Round Earth model comports with reality, and I'm hoping that this debate will be different from the other Flat Earth debates I have. It seems very unlikely. My position is that the Earth is round and that the Flat Earth narrative is nothing but a conspiracy theory with absolutely nothing going for it. My position states that anybody can confirm the shape of the Earth, that you don't need fancy rockets or spaceships, nor access to Elon Musk's bank account. To support my side of the debate, just like last time, I will be avoiding the arguments from authorities, even if that authority is legit, and only sticking to observations that our little community has been able to gather over the last 5 years. The strength of our case lies not in the fact that we have millions of dollars to spend. The strength of our case lies in the fact that these observations were gathered by normal, everyday people. So to fight against these facts would be to fight against a reality that literally anybody can verify. With that, I hand it back to you, Fight the Flat Earth.
Thank you very much. Right, so we're going to do our best. There may be some language barrier issues, but I will do my best to get Sizzle Deft to clarify anything that needs clarifying. Sizzle Deft, if you could just do me the courtesy of just doing your best to enunciate and be as clear as possible so the audience are able to understand everything that you said, okay?
Okay, so we are dealing with two things here:
Yes.
moon landing and globe Earth.
Moon landing and globe Earth, yeah, go on then.
Yeah, moon landing and globe Earth. So, as Red pointed out, you don't need to build a rocket to prove the Earth is not round but flat either. So my empirical evidence is called tilting photo experience.
A
In 1 year, I
tilting
did
bottle
the
experiment.
The bottle didn't fall off. If the Earth tilts or spins, so that took about 365 days of NASA. You try do the experiment yourself. Place a bottle of Coca-Cola or any kind of your choice just on the surface of the ground and see if that bottle will hold or not, regardless of gravity being at play. So we all know that for every solution science has made, it creates 10 more worst scenarios. Take for instance, before we had artificial sugars, common illnesses like tooth decay, diabetes, and some other sugar-related diseases or cancers, people could live a happy life. Then scientists brought this artificial sugar idea. So with this being said, really, must we trust science 100% or only dwell on the good side of it? So NASA science is really wasting people's money.
Okay, just to clarify what you were saying there, you did a bottle experiment where you put a bottle on the ground and it didn't tilt.
Yeah, for like 365.
And that's your empirical evidence that the Earth isn't rotating.
That's one of my the most basic empirical evidence.
Wow. Okay. Excellent. So you also sent me a couple of pictures as evidence. Do you want me to put those up for you, and you can explain what those were about?
Yeah, two pictures.
Yeah, let me just get the first one up. Why aren't you downloading? Okay, we'll do it this way. All right, 1 second. Right, so we have the first picture up that you sent. Please nice and clearly explain what this picture is.
So that's a flat Earth model, the world that we live in. So we got the marks. Many people, misunderstand this model. I don't know, some other flat Earth colleagues haven't done their best. Because what people think is beyond the dome, even what some other flat Earth people think is beyond the globe. We have the planets and the stars. But I'd like to point out the fact everything is in the globe. And what we have in the black zone here, that's just water. Like
Okay.
the Bible says, because I'm a Christian.
Right.
I base off my idea that the earth is flat from the Bible.
Okay.
It
And
says in one of them.
just to clarify
Hello?
for the audience in red, you say that this is an accurate representation of the flat Earth. Yes.
This is an accurate representation. Yes.
Right. And you're saying that all the planets and stars that we see in the sky are in the firmament, which is the dome, right?
All the Milky Ways and everything that NASA is telling us about space is in the dome.
Right. And the sun and the moon, they just float above the Earth within the dome. Is that right?
Not more than 4,000. What's this? Not more than 4,000
Not more than
miles.
4,000 miles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not more than. Yeah.
And do you have any evidence to support that this is the model?
I think even just from sight, the model, yeah, I have evidence because I think I submitted some verses as well, some Bible verses.
Okay, right, we'll get to the Bible verses in 1 sec. Let me just get the other picture up that you sent me.
There's one which talks about the firmament in Genesis 1 verse 6. Yeah, so.
Okay. You make sure you're talking into the mic because it was quite good then.
Look
So
at Genesis 1 verse 6.
you also sent this picture? What
Let
did
there
this
be
picture?
firmament in the midst of the waters.
Right, okay,
Hello?
so Genesis 1
Can we look at
6 says
the
about the
verse?
firmament, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters.
all right,
Midst
okay.
of the waters. Then let it divide the waters from the waters.
And you also
So
sent the
clear.
picture that I'm showing on screen now. What was this picture about?
Yeah. This is a catastrophic model. That's the heliocentric model.
A catastrophic model.
Yeah. There's no way this thing is working. Even if it was working, it's a disaster. Because just the movements of the planet,
I mean,
they are
I think we agree with that. But
we are dead already.
okay,
Life is not anymore. The Big Bang debunked. Spherical Earth debunked. So my empirical evidence that the globe Earth model is not a model at all. It's also coming from the Bible.
okay, yeah, and you sent a few Bible verses.
Yeah, quite a few.
Do you have any of those verses that actually that say that the Earth is flat, so that we could specifically? Yeah.
Flip on slow mode. 30 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Maybe you could save the Bible verses for the back and forth discussion. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. Excellent. So,
Hello?
Yep, you hear me? Is that all the evidence that you'd like to present for now?
I think I haven't heard from my colleague presenting their own evidence, but as far as I would say for them in the meantime, yeah, that's all the evidence.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that interesting evidence. I will do my best to make sure that the audience understands exactly what's going on. Now, Reds, let's just go over to you. Reds is going to have 10 minutes to present evidence that support the fact that the Earth is globe and rotating. Over to you, Reds. Shouldn't be hard.
Oh boy. Okay. Wow. Anyway, can you do me a favor, Craig? Do you have the links ready?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I will go ahead and get started. 3, 2, 1, 10 minutes starts now. Okay, first of all, thanks FTFE for hosting this debate. I apologize to everyone for sounding like a broken record because many of you have actually heard this before, but yeah, I hope you still get something out of it. Okay, let me draw your attention to that big glowy thing in the sky. It's called the sun, because the fact is this: what you observe above your head can tell you a lot about what is under your feet. On October 1st, 2017, my friend Slice Arcane posted a video where a bunch of volunteers from all over the planet measured the altitude angle of the sun during the equinox. Craig, this is link 1. Their goal was to find out if the round Earth model would agree with the data gathered from their observation. So participants in 9 different countries conducted this simple observation, which is very similar to the Eratosthenes observation done over 2,000 years ago. Using the latitude of each participant, the sun's elevation angle was measured during solar noon. These angles were then placed on a sphere to see if the angles corresponded accordingly. The end result was this. When the lines of altitude were plotted, the only model that resulted in 0 contradictions was the globe model. This observation even verified the accepted size of the globe because the stick lines, which are the lines that were perpendicular to the Earth's surface during the observation, all converged to a point, being the center of a sphere. And those measurements were used to calculate the size of our globe. However, this observation also hinted that the sun was extremely far away, not 4,000 miles away, much further away than that. So if that could be verified, then Slice Arcane's observation is rooted in reality to an even greater extent. Well, lucky for him, this comports with my observation I did in my video, Satiricism.com versus the sun. Craig, link 2. The sun has a known angular size of around 0.53 degrees as seen from Earth. And there's not enough fluctuation in that to help any flat earther. And this is the case all day, all year, all the time, no matter where you are. If you were to look at the sun through a solar filter and track it all day long like I did 4 years ago, you would see that the sun would remain the same size in the frame. This makes sense because if the sun is the size asserted and at the distance asserted, we would not expect to see any shift in angular size as predicted by the law of perspective. The law of perspective being alpha equals 2 times the arctan of g over 2r. Only equation I'll give you guys here. So observations done in reality confirm what we would expect from a distant sun. And that distant sun comports with the observations done by Sly and his volunteers showing the size and shape of our Earth. But let's not limit ourselves to just the sun. Let's take the entire sky into account, the whole thing. Because how you observe what is above your head can tell you a lot about what is under your feet. Now, if we go to link 3, an equatorial mount is a mount for telescopes and cameras that compensate for the Earth's rotation relative to the sky. It works by having one rotational axis parallel to the Earth's axis. The advantage of having an equatorial mount lies in its ability to allow the instrument attached to it to stay fixed on any celestial object while driving only one axis at a constant speed. This mount works so well that it's used by astrophotographers because it corrects for field rotation, which is a huge benefit because any field rotation would ruin a long exposure shot. So the most beautiful thing about the EQ mount is that it works and the implications are massive. When trying to model an EQ mount working as it does in reality, it must be placed on the surface of a sphere. Again, keep showing link 3. When modeled to comport with actual observations, including the observations that the EQ mount works, The only model that results in 0 contradictions is the round Earth model. To make matters worse, or better, depending on which side of the debate you are on, it also verifies the size of our spherical Earth. Because if you were at the North Pole, the axis of your mount would be pointing straight up. Move to the equator, and the axis would have to be turned by 90 degrees in order for the EQ mount to make those epic observations again. The distance between those 2 points, along with the difference in angle, allows us to get a value for the radius of the Earth. So not only does this mount have to be on a sphere, it has to be on a sphere the size of the Earth to comport with reality. When you compare the values from Sly's equinox observation and the EQ telescope mount observation, they all converge on the same answer for the size and shape of our Earth. So not only do we have confirmation, we have multiple lines of confirmation, and all without having to run to NASA and spending millions of dollars. We don't need to do it. The next line of evidence I wish to present would be direct observation of curvature from the ground. It is commonly pointed out by many who engage in this debate that water always finds its level, and I agree, water does find its level. And if by being level, water would have to conform to a curved surface, then large bodies of water should allow us to see curvature directly with the help of a visual reference. Because guess what? Level does not mean flat. However, this observation can be quite difficult to make because we are at the mercy of atmospheric clarity, the atmospheric distortion of the day, the weather. We're at the mercy of the weather. So this is where being very selective with your days becomes very important. But if you do make your observation on a clear day, then you will see what a user by the name of MC the MC1 was able to record. Craig, link number 4. Link number 4 will show a tanker ship being partially obscured by the horizon, yet with absolutely no visual limitations via the atmosphere. This observation was done on a very clear day. It's also worth pointing out that we have enough angular size to work with when it comes to the ship in question. Therefore, the only reason why the ship would be partially not visible is if something was in the way. The video clearly shows that it's the water that is in the way, the very same water that finds its own level. This is great because it's exactly what is predicted by the round Earth model. The only thing that could make this any better is if I did this observation myself, which I did. Craig, link 5. While not as clear as the first video that was referenced, it's clear enough to show the geometry of our planet at work. You can see in my video a ship disappearing over the horizon. Again, this is not as clear as the first video that I showed you, but it does show the geometry of our planet at work. Another way this could be done is with a continuous visual reference, like with a straight and level bridge. Thankfully, a guy named Soundly, who lives near Lake Pontchartrain and Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, was able to get this visual reference, was able to get this visual effect on camera. The length of this bridge makes it possible to see the curvature of the Earth directly given a clear enough day, so when the atmospheric clarity allows for it, you get observation like the one listed in link 6. Craig, link 6, please. Mm-hmm. What is amazing here is that this observation was virtually modeled in that video with the assumed size and shape of the globe. And when you compare the computer renderings to what was actually observed, they match perfectly. This shows that the round Earth model made a prediction, and that prediction turned out to be the case. This is great because only models that are able to reliably make predictions are the one we should follow and trust. I think it's safe to say that the round Earth model has passed that test. Again, Lake Pontchartrain is a very big body of water. The Lake Pontchartrain Causeway is a very long and straight and level bridge, and yet we can see curve in the image. But it doesn't just pass that test. Why is it, I must ask, why is it that light from the sun will run along the Earth's surface in the morning and in the evening? Why is it that we have 2 points in which the stars rotate, one in the north, one in the south? Why is it that people in the north are unable to see the southern celestial pole, and vice versa? The round Earth model provides an answer to all these questions, and like it or not, it demonstrates that the round Earth model comports with reality. Light will run along the Earth's surface because a single light source can only illuminate half the sphere at a time, leaving the edges of the illuminated surface to be tangent with the line of light. We have two poles because a spinning sphere, or a sphere being rotated around, will have an axis leading to two celestial poles, and those poles will not be visible to the opposite hemisphere because they run into the same problem that the ships do when they disappear bottom up and eventually out of sight: the geometry of our spherical Earth. So, Craig, I would like for you to play Link 7. On September 2nd, 2015, December 22nd, 2017, and June 29th, 2018, the geometry of our planet made itself known in a very beautiful way. As stated previously, an illuminated sphere will have edges to that illumination, and the edges of the illuminated surface will be tangent with the line of light. This also means that just before dawn and just after dusk, light would actually be heading upward and away from the surface relative to your location. So even though it would be dark where you are, there is indeed sunlight streaming over your head. You just happen to be at a location where the sun's light is blocked by the curvature. But if an object were to travel high enough, it could cross into the path of light, thus illuminating itself. They would be seeing over the curve. That is what's predicted by the round Earth model, but has it actually been verified to be the case? Well, the video that you are seeing shows that it is the case. The dates mentioned are dates of rocket launches. These engineering examples of pure badassery have the capability to reach the altitudes needed. The video shows that rockets do in fact cross into the sunlight path, and like I said, they get high enough to see over the curve. The illumination is predicted by the round Earth model. It's exactly what I got on video, and I filmed this video myself. Next. Fellow YouTuber Sean Hufford did some observations with his drone in Link 8. Craig, Link 8. What he did was very simple. He had his drone set at altitude and waited till the sun was visible during sunrise. As soon as the sun was just visible, he dropped the drone in altitude and the sun disappeared again. The geometry of a spherical Earth predicts that this would be the case, and when it was tested, it turned out to actually be the case. In fact, I did the same observation with my DJI Mavic Pro, but with a sunset, not a sunrise. Craig, Link 9. When my Mavic Pro gained altitude, the sun that had already set came back into frame, and you could watch the sun set again. You know, as predicted by the round Earth model. That observation was done between 5,000 and 4,000 feet, but I plan on doing this observation again at a higher altitude, and when that becomes available, I will post it in the description of this thing and share it with you all. None of these facts should surprise anybody, because the round Earth model comports with reality, the reality we all experience and observe. Craig, I surrender the rest of my time to you.
Roger, Roger, that was impressive. Flat Earthers take note. That is how you present evidence for a debate. Now, Sizzle Deft, did you get all of that?
I got all that. Too much evidence, empirical evidence, but it all leads to one thing, you know, that still, I mean, there's no way the Earth can be round. You know,
okay, so
you're not going to.
How about I just give you 10 minutes now to discuss the evidence, or talk about the evidence that Reds has just brought up and why it doesn't show the Earth is round, okay? So,
okay.
Yeah, feel free. Just make sure you keep talking closely into the mic, okay?
Okay, so, like Raid said, you're not going to NASA to be equipped with instruments, you know. But what you must understand is the instruments are already out there. And these instruments are fine-tuned. Okay, GPRS, radars, measurements, advanced cameras, you know, the Maverick Pro or anything. These instruments are fine-tuned already. So if you're gonna prove whether the globe Earth is wrong, you might want to use your own instruments, maybe, because those instruments will read you to what has already been, how they've been made. Like, these instruments are fine-tuned. So we know that GPS favors the globe, radars, they favor the globe, so you're not going to use those, you know. No?
Okay. Is that all you've really got to say about the evidence that Red's presented?
No, I'm still going on.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, so how about NASA's true agenda?
Well,
So it's a secret society, of course.
to be fair, Reds didn't bring up NASA once. If you could stick to the evidence that Reds presented.
I think then I'm done, because it seems we are doing Reds here, you know. Reds
Yeah.
didn't bring the heliocentric.
Well, I thought
I don't
Reds pretty well gave evidence. Okay, right. Well, if you're done with your rebuttal of Red's evidence, how about I'll let Reds have some time to rebut the evidence you presented, and then you and Reds can have a back and forth discussion. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right, Reds. The evidence that Sizzle Deft presented. Those two pictures.
Yeah, my only rebuttal is that those images demonstrate nothing. In fact, one of those images that shows the supposed solar system is just a gigantic straw man. There aren't 7 planets in the orbit of Venus. The Earth isn't bigger than the Sun. I mean, if that's what you're claiming the solar system looks like, then I would agree that this model is total garbage, because that's not what we say it is. But even if, let's go ahead and say that the Earth does not go around the Sun. Let's say that the Earth is stationary. That doesn't mean that the Earth is flat. Take a ball, put it on the table. Is it moving? No. Has it stopped being a ball magically? No. Then why is this even an argument? And also, instruments being fine-tuned doesn't mean that those instruments are lying to you. These instruments are calibrated to give you the correct result, the correct answer, because we can test to see if these answers comport with reality. If they render wrong answers, then they're going to give you a result that is not wanted. So if I have a ruler and I'm trying to measure like placements for a kitchen countertop, and that ruler is wrong, I'm going to get a countertop that is the wrong size for my kitchen. So when you're using instruments, the fact that they're fine-tuned, the fact that they're calibrated correctly, doesn't mean that those instruments are lying to you or that they're part of some secret society from NASA. It just means that you are using instruments, you are using tools and equipment properly to get the correct answer.
Okay, so why don't you? Red's presented a lot of very specific evidence to show that the Earth's a curve, the Earth's a globe.
I think,
Greg, if I can ask you, let's start with the easiest. What do you have to say about my drone footage that shows as you're gaining altitude, a setting sun will rise again, and if the sun is just rising, you can lower altitude of your drone and see the sun rise again? Let's start there. What do you have to say about that one?
Sorry, come again.
If I have a drone, and this drone is, like, let's say at 500 feet, I can watch the sun rise through that drone.
So
when I lower the drone, the sun will set again, even though it is a rising sun. Why is that the case?
Optical illusion, maybe. Drones have got the fine-tuned cameras.
A fine-tuned camera leads to optical illusions? How?
On a drone.
I'm sorry, can you explain that to me?
Yeah. What do you mean by an optical illusion?
So, like he said, the drone feed is on the rising sun.
Yeah. What he's saying is that he sees the sun set, but then if he raises the drone up, he can then watch it set again. So,
like the sun sets twice.
Yeah.
Yes. I can watch the sun set twice by raising the altitude of my drone.
I think, but how far are you raising that altitude? Because really, the sun is very far from that small drone, which has a camera that has got a limitation. Like, that's an optical illusion to me. Like,
How is it an optical
what
illusion?
what you get, what the drone feeds you is wrong information.
How is the drone feeding me wrong information?
Because it has a fine-tuned camera on it.
Fine-tuned does
Shows
not
you,
mean that the
it
camera's
shows you
lying.
the horizon, and then it shows you something else, that the sun is setting horizon when it's not.
Sir, the computer or the cell phone that you're using, is that piece of equipment fine-tuned?
I'm not against innovations for the greater good, but I'm against innovations for the wrong use. So if I'm using this
So if I point a
gadget
camera,
to
if I point a
Sorry?
camera at the sun and it shows the sun setting twice, you're saying I'm using the camera for the wrong reason.
I think if you consult expert in the photography field and everything, all cameras are made special with special lenses. So they are not as good as the Canon in shot. The Canon is one of the brands which has no special mounted effect to it and everything. So I think I would prefer if I saw that with my own eyes, but not through a camera. Certainly not through a drone.
So if a
No.
camera shows you something that does not comport with the flat Earth, you will not believe it?
Yeah, I mean, who trusts these are just gadgets. The technology, they are prone to errors and all those and everything. And like I
What's
say,
the
they are
error here?
fine-tuned.
You see this-
But
at-
we can't
at
talk
one-
about NASA. So
At one part in
I
the
don't
video,
see how.
you see the sun setting. I raise the altitude of my drone, and then you can see the sun setting again. Where is the error?
I think that only proves that the sun is small in size.
No, it
That
doesn't.
the Earth is, and the sun does not. The sun moves. In short, it disintegrates from the distance.
So did you just say the sun disintegrates from the distance?
I meant it descends.
Descends, right, okay.
Yeah.
We understand that the sun
the sun
descends.
does.
What I'm
I mean, how
illustrating
is the
here,
sun?
there's a consequence of having a round Earth. The consequence is that if I have a drone that is basically only 5 feet above the surface and I see the sunset, I can raise the altitude of my drone very quickly and I can see it setting again. That's what we would expect to see on a round Earth. And when we test it, that is what we see. So where is the error?
That's what you would also see on a flat Earth, because
No,
the
you
sun
wouldn't.
and the moon hovers around the Earth. So if you're gonna move your drone so abruptly and quick, whilst the sun is moving away or towards the drone, certainly you're gonna have a view that the sun sets twice, because you raise the altitude of the drone. Simple science. So I don't see why that proves the
Simple
Earth is
science.
spherical.
That,
The Earth is flat.
that's not simple science. That's incorrect science. Are you saying that on a flat Earth, the sun would still be able to set? And if so, how?
You know?
Yeah.
How would the sun set on a flat Earth?
The sun setting on a flat Earth. I think the setting is the wrong choice of way to say the sun sets. Because when you talk about time zones and the sun being small in size, it doesn't necessarily set, because even it only what way did I
Doi, Flerf internet strikes there. Give him a second.
It descends away from certain regions to other regions. When it descends to a region, it's night, day.
So Sizzle Deft, just to clarify what you're saying there, you're saying that the sun moves away and towards you.
That's what you're saying.
Well,
on a drone, you say the sun was setting twice, so I don't know whether it's written towards the drone or away from the drone. I don't know about that experiment, but all I can say it proves nothing.
Okay, but you are saying that the sun would be moving away from you rather than setting, right? That's what you're saying.
Exactly. On a flat Earth model.
Reds?
The sun only moves away from you, and then it's darkness where it goes. It's day.
You there, Reds?
Yeah. It's a terrible thing to waste. Yeah, about that, but I already made mention of that assertion. Link 2, I showed you a video of my observation of the sun. If the sun were to move the way that you claim, and it was at the distance you claim, we would expect the size of the sun to change throughout the day. When I did my observation, I took a picture of the sun at the same zoom level for an entire day. Every 30 minutes, I took a picture of the sun. And throughout the entire day, the sun did not change in angular size. So therefore, the sun is not moving in the way that you're asserting, and it's definitely not at the distance you are asserting. Again, I took a picture of the sun every 30 minutes for an entire day. The sun did not change in size.
Did you get that,
Can I
Sizzle
speak
Def?
now?
Yep, go on.
Yeah, so I don't know what instrument you use, whether it's a Microsoft or a telescope or a microscope, but the thing is, the sun has a haze, it produces this light and great amounts of heat. So at your distance and at the sun's distance, that you would be able to differentiate the size with the haze that the sun is able to produce. I don't see how that is possible to achieve.
I think you mean
beam of light around the sun, and there's a beam of heat around the sun.
Do you mean the glare of the sun?
We are looking at exactly.
Okay, but
that
you know that
the judgment
when I took those pictures,
of you trying to bring up the actual size of the sun, you cannot even tell the difference.
When I took those pictures, I took those pictures through a solar filter, which gets rid of the glare. So there is no glare, there is no haze.
There is haze at a distance that you can't be able to tell visibly with the camera lens, unless with your eyes maybe. But how super powerful is that camera that you're going to use to zoom in the sun? Or
Reds is saying that he put a
around.
Yeah, Sizzle Def, I don't know if you heard, but Reds is saying that he put a solar filter on front of the camera to get rid of the haze.
To get rid of the glare.
Did you get rid of the haze and the glare on the sun or in the filter?
You're saying that my filter produces a haze?
Sorry?
Did you say that my filter produces a haze?
No, the haze is coming from the sun, so it doesn't really. How much difference will the filter? How much difference will the filter give you to get rid of the haze and the glare?
Doesn't it remove like 99% of the light?
Haze.
Yeah, the filter actually blocks like 99% of the light, so it blocks out a ton of glare, so you only see the solar face, the actual face of the sun. You don't see any of the glare around it. That's how I was able to accurately measure the angular size. And the piece of equipment that I used is a Nikon P900, which the flat earthers told me was a trustworthy camera.
And I think 10 years from now, they're going to produce more glares, filters better than the previous one that you're using.
I'm
trust
sure,
me,
but because the filter isn't perfect doesn't mean it's giving me the wrong result.
it
I mean,
is.
a Toyota Camry is less perfect than a Rolls Royce, but both will still do the job of getting you from point A to point B.
I would like you to do that experiment on a light bulb. And you're going to have to be 30 miles away. And let's see if the distance with the camera is going to be possible. Because honestly, the sun is very far. But you're just going to use a P9 whatever camera and then be able to zoom in with whatever filter that you say. That's impossible. Even on a flat Earth scale, that's
the observation with a light bulb.
Sorry?
You said repeat the observation with a light bulb?
Try that with the light bulb and then see how difficult it is to get rid of even the haze and glare, even at 30 miles.
I can
distance.
I can assure you that with the proper filter, you would be able to see the individual loops in the filament glowing. So the filter will do its
optical illusion as well. Just going to give you an optical illusion.
How is that an optical illusion? You're looking at the filament.
I think that I don't know what to say. There's just no way,
There's just
this is not science, this is not magic, but it's reality.
No,
Man-made
I never
instruments are prone to errors.
What I'm claiming is that you claim the Earth is doesn't make any sense if you actually go out and investigate it.
I think I've done a lot of investigation, personally, on a day-to-day life.
Could you please tell us about some of those investigations? Any particular observations you've made that demonstrate the Earth being flat?
Yeah, the Earth is flat because there is no curvature of some sort. We are taught by science that even when you are at sea and the horizon, the ship is moving away, then it disappears. That doesn't mean that it's gone or it's dropped on the other. It's just optical illusion. Life is made up of optical illusion.
Craig, do me a favor. Pause that video at 10 minutes 57.
10 minutes 57.
Yeah, right there.
Nope.
It's fine. Okay, pause it. This image that is being shown to you right now is the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. It was one of the links that I mentioned in my presentation. And you can see that this bridge is curving. This is a level bridge. The bridge is the same height above the water throughout the entire bridge, throughout the entire trip. You will not get higher except for the bumps, the few bumps that you see. But other than that, the bridge is the same height above the water. This was taken with, I believe, a P1000, and you can clearly see that there's curvature in this image.
I think you don't. Hello?
Hello? Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, let me.
Yeah, I don't think you need it. You need the camera. Hello?
Yeah, I'm going to repeat that one more time just in case you tuned out. This is the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway on Lake Pontchartrain. On Lake Pontchartrain, there's a hotel you can go to take this image. That's what happened. So what he did was he simply pointed his camera and took a picture of the bridge, and you can see that there is curvature in the image. This bridge is the same height above the water throughout the entire pass. Ignoring the humps that you're seeing, but other than that, it's the same height above the water throughout the entire pass. but yet you can see that the bridge curves with the Earth. Are you seeing that?
Correct. I'm seeing.
Okay. Why is there curvature in this image?
I mean, that must be a very long bridge based on how big the Earth is. So just because we claim that the Earth is flat, don't mean that it has no, it has a super flat surface. The Earth doesn't have a super flat surface, which is why we have mountains and everything.
This
So
is
to
a
prove
water.
just because that bridge curves a little bit proves curvature of the Earth. I mean, it's not evidence enough. And I would like to check the infrastructure documentations of this bridge. What are they saying? We don't even need a camera to prove it. It's really straight or bent or anything, tilted, killed, and the like. I think I'm having some audio feedback.
The bridge is about 20 miles, so yes, this is a very long bridge. Yes, the bridge is perfectly straight, so it doesn't bend left to right. The only bending is, well, to follow the curve of the Earth. That's the point in me showing you this. Throughout the entire pass, throughout the entire span of the bridge, it is the same height above the water. Again, ignoring the humps. But you can see, even though it's the same height above the water, it's curving. The only way that makes any sense is if the bridge is curving with the water. And the only way the water curving makes sense is if the Earth is round. If water always finds its level, it's going to be level with the curvature of the Earth.
How about the surface of the sea where it sits on? I mean, it must be a super straight surface. I don't know.
Huh? That hurt my brain.
Made?
Can I just clarify what you're saying? You're saying that the surface of water isn't curved. Or, sorry, you're saying the surface of water is curved, even on a flat Earth. Is that what you're saying?
No, the bottom of where the water sits, it has a surface. The bottom of the sea or the ocean or anything.
Well, yeah,
I never heard those.
The top of the water, is that going to be flat or curved on a flat Earth?
No, the theory about water is that it follows it has no specific shape or anything. It follows any level. So just because a specific water is made level on a specific surface, don't necessarily mean that that surface conforms with the rest of the world. Just a portion of land.
Why
10 miles is not.
Why does the water curve though? Why does the water curve?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
The water curves because the water curving is an optical illusion at a distance, at a far greater distance. That's all I can say.
It's not.
Just like on the Thai road, we have mirages, but as you go towards the mirage, you don't find any water there. It's just an optical illusion. Simple.
Red's my brain.
That's not an optical illusion. That's geometry. Why does it have to be an optical illusion?
Yeah, geometry is biased as well. It's biased.
Sorry, you may have broken up a bit there, but I want to clarify what you just said. Did you just say that geometry is biased?
Oh, I would say most of these theories, mathematical theories and everything, these theories are biased, really.
So maths is biased. Oh.
Yeah, very biased. Because it supports the globe model. So how are you going to use it to qualify whether the Earth is flat?
Wait a minute. Let me ask you a very serious question. Is it a possibility that math isn't biased and that you're biased simply because you don't want to trust anything that supports the globe?
I wouldn't say math in general, but some portions of math. Just like there's good and evil science, there's good and bad science.
Math? Trigonometry?
Sorry?
what portion of math is biased then? I think when we're talking about mathematics, it's an all or nothing deal.
Yeah, but not all mathematics is biased, you know. Like, you didn't allow me to talk about NASA and everything, so I left
So
out
you
some
will
of the
agree with math
my
on some
empirical.
things. Wait a minute. So you will agree with math on some things, but you will disagree with math on other things.
Exactly.
Okay, how do you decide whether or not to trust mathematics?
Hey, Reds, I need to take a Riley. I'll be back in 1 sec.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
How do you decide whether or not to trust a mathematical proof?
because, you know, some of these mathematical theories and stuff, they are made by people who are, some are non-religious, some are religious. So we can't just take a person's theory and conform to it as a general rule without really considering the background of the people who came up with those ideas, the sects, the groups, the occultic societies, and all that. So yeah, some portions of maths are, yeah, they're based on belief,
You
other
think
people's
if
belief.
a person discovered an amazing mathematical proof, you think their background is relevant?
Yeah, you have to question some background at some point.
So if, like, let's say Adolf Hitler came up with 2 + 2 = 4, would you immediately not trust that equation simply because it came from one of the most evil men in history?
Yeah, I think if you had to take two fat people and two slim people, that wouldn't equal 4. I think it would equal 3, because when you
Wait,
combine
what?
those, they wouldn't be the same size altogether.
Sorry, I just went to the toilet. When I came back, I heard him say that 2 add 2 is 3. What did I miss?
I asked him if Hitler came up with an equation, 2 + 2 = 4, would he immediately not trust it simply because it came from one of the most evil men in history? And I'm guessing he said in that case, if Hitler really did come up with it, 2 + 2 would equal 3 or something like that.
Is that correct, Sizzle Deft?
That's 100% correct.
Oh,
What?
Life must be questioned. These theories must be,
Some things
you know, there
that
has to
I
be a
would
background
advise
check
not to question.
as to why someone came up with such a theory. Why is the earth round, not flat? Why is it so much, you know, a thing
gravity.
that it should be round and not flat?
What?
Yeah. Reds, am I having a stroke?
I want to make sure I understand. I want to make sure I understand you. I want to give you a chance to explain yourself because I think there's a language barrier here. So let me try this again. If Hitler came up with the equation 2 + 2 = 4, you would not trust that equation because it came from one of the most evil men in history, correct?
Not necessarily trust. You know, I'm a Christian, and they say all good things come from God. So God uses the most, you know, foolish things, the most weird people to bring up the goodwill in this world. So
Okay,
a background check of
let me ask you the question this way. Let's say it's actually the case that Hitler came up with the equation 2 + 2 = 4. Is Hitler correct?
I mean, Hitler had the, you know, had a movement of his own, and everything
I
Hitler
don't care
did
about his movements. I don't care about his
was not for the
feelings.
greater good.
Let's
So
just talk
you
about the
really question.
equation.
We would all question. We would all question it.
Again,
Question
if
that.
Hitler came up with the equation 2 + 2 = 4, would you say that Hitler was correct in saying 2 + 2 = 4?
There's no way Hitler would come up with that equation.
But hypothetically,
Well,
if he did.
It's a hypothetical.
We can't live in assumptions. Good, he never did. But I think at this point in time, it's not for a minority's decision. it's not for a minority. So if I was cool with it or not, trust me, we've got a few elite people that are controlling this world. That idea of Hitler coming up with 2 + 2 = 4 would be put to use. Trust me.
So let me just clarify
Just
something
like
here, Sizzle Deft.
The globe model was put to use.
So Sizzle Deft, what is 2 + 2?
Yep. Simple math, it's definitely 4.
Right. Okay, so Hitler would be correct.
But if Hitler told me 2 + 2 was 4, I mean, there would be some glitch somewhere. Why is Hitler telling me 2 + 2 is 4? Is it a code to a nuclear weapon or something?
Okay, I think you're getting hooked on something here, and I want to give you a radical idea. Just because someone is evil in your eyes doesn't mean that what they're telling you is incorrect. Just because somebody has been involved in some very, very evil garbage does not mean that what they're telling you, like mathematical proofs such as 2 + 2 = 4, that doesn't mean that you should immediately look at that with suspicion. And it seems to me like if something goes against the word of your God, you immediately look at that with suspicion to such an extent that you're willing to question the mathematical fact of 2 + 2 = 4.
That was not my point. Like I said, God uses the most foolish things to bring goodwill in this world. So it's the issue of questioning, not the issue of completely,
I'm so lost.
rejecting.
Yeah, I'm lost at this point.
Litmus Reds?
I'm just going to say that it looks like my presentation was kind of a complete waste. There are plenty of pieces of evidence. There's plenty of observations that have been done that confirm that the Earth is round. I just presented 9 different observations that this community has done over the last 5 years. So in your opinion, what was I verifying? All of these proofs for the globe, what is going on? Is reality lying to me? Is my equipment lying to me? What's happening?
I mean, you can't use thought to discover the taste of sugar. Neither can you use sugar to discover the taste of thought. So you were using fine-tuned instruments to prove what the instruments who already proved to you that the Earth is round. Get the point.
So are you saying that the instruments that are used to determine the Earth's sphericity are programmed to show that result?
You use the right word, programmed, exactly.
So if Reds was to use, say, a telescope and make the same observations, would you say that telescope has been programmed?
If you use a telescope before the Apollo 11 going to the moon, those are best telescopes and cameras. But after that, everything has been programmed.
So
okay, let me ask you this.
Wow.
You just know how the globe
hang on. My friend has an LX200. His name is Astronomy Live. By the way, peeps, give him a sub.
Yeah, hell yeah.
His telescope is just glass. It's made of convex mirrors, and it shows the exact same thing as my Nikon P900. It shows the exact same thing as my Nikon P1000. How do you program a tube with convex glass in it? How do you program that?
I can't believe what you're saying, because you're just saying. Maybe you're just saying it to say. But I would love to use that telescope, myself, and be able to. Really
that's what a telescope is. A telescope is just a tube of metal with some glass in it. It doesn't. You can't program a lens.
It has. It's literally a tube with a convex mirror in the back of it. So
what's it? The what's it called, Reds?
It's the LX200 from Meade, MEADE.
Okay, so what did it do?
And here's the thing. This is my point. The telescope shows the exact same thing as my Nikon does. So if you can't program a telescope, how is it that my P1000 is programmed even though it shows the exact same thing?
Oh, I mean you say Nikon?
Nikon P900 and P1000. Yes, I have both.
That's an electrical. It operates. It's a digital camera, right?
Compared to a telescope, which is nothing but a tube of glass, it shows the exact.
How can it
same
produce the same result? There's some,
because that shows that what that demonstrates is that the things that Reds captures in his Nikon P1000 are actually reality. Because what I'm showing you right now on screen is the telescope that Astronomy Live uses, and that big blue bit is just a tube with glass in. There's no computer technology in this. All the computer technology is in the mount and the way that it can be controlled. There is nothing computer in this. This is just a tube of metal with some glass lenses.
What was it used for?
It was used to look at the Tampa Bay skyline. It was also used to film rocket launches. It was used to measure the distance to the International Space Station. It's been used for all sorts of observations. But regardless of the observation that it's used for, it shows the exact same thing as my Nikon was showing me on playback. So if you can't program a tube filled with mirrors, then it shows that what my Nikon was showing was reality. It shows that what my Nikon was showing wasn't programmed in after the fact.
I think at the end of the day, we look at distance. Just you using it to capture a rocket launch. I mean, that's not even a great distance. But the problem is people.
How far did you pan, Reds?
Yeah, tell me about it. Well, we also looked at the ISS, which was over 400 kilometers away at the time. I mean, the simple fact is this. The telescope is just a tube filled with mirrors. The mirrors are convex, okay? They're convex mirrors that focus light. That's all they do. And they can show you objects that are very far away. When you look at the same objects through my camera, it shows the exact same thing. What this is demonstrating is that my camera is not programmed to lie to me.
Okay. Just empirical evidence of that.
You're crackling up a bit there. Could you just check your mic?
Hello, are you getting me?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I was suggesting against us the empirical evidence we would have started with, but we're not specific here.
Would you like Reds to explain to you how he calculated the distance to the ISS?
I think that's not even the theme for our discussion here. The theme was the moon landing and globe Earth flat 8. So now we're doing calculations. We talked about calculations,
So would you say it's fair to say that Reds has presented you with a lot of evidence that supports a globe Earth?
Yeah, it's a lot of evidence, but as compared to my few evidence, I think my evidence is a lot in the sense that it's not new. His evidence is, is based off other people's.
Well, no, he did all the observations himself. So
it's just a bunch of evidence.
Yeah, so isn't that what evidence does? It kind of demonstrates what's true and not.
Yeah, but it's not the amount of evidence that you bring out that's going to prove it.
Just to be clear, your evidence basically is that God made the earth flat, right?
Absolutely.
So if I can just ask you one question about that. Why couldn't God have made a globe?
Sorry?
Why could God have not made a globe?
Not made it blue?
Yeah, why did God make a flat earth and not a globe? Was there anything stopping God making a globe?
No, it's reasonable because they say the globe is spinning at greater speed. I mean, that was disaster. Like in my one of the pictures that I told you, God wouldn't make such a disaster. The
Yeah,
Earth is
yeah, but
spinning at
that
millions,
picture you
I don't
showed
know,
was, I mean, it showed
moving around the sun
It
in
showed
orbit.
8 planets in the orbit of Venus in front of Earth. That that picture you showed isn't what we say the solar system is. That was
Yeah, but you get the point because
The
I'm not really
sun.
interested in how it looks and everything because it's it's not real. So I just picked up a random
but
All
evidence
shot of
right.
this.
suggests it
I'm
is.
going to. All right. I'm going
Yeah.
to actually
So
conclude this debate by
God did
just
not.
saying, even though this might be a very unpopular thought with you, or with whoever's been teaching you this, I'm going to advise that you break away from the Bible and let reality speak for itself. Reality is the arbiter of truth, not words written in a book. I don't care to what higher authority those words claim to be speaking for.
You are using the book. You are using calculations, and those based on scientists who made books. So why can't I use my own book as trying
I
to use
didn't
it for
reference
empirical
any
evidence
book.
and citation?
I didn't reference any book in my presentation. I made clear to not argue from authority. Everything I presented, I did myself. There
Or
was
friends
no,
of ours.
yes, or friends of ours. I did not appeal to like NASA or JAXA or Neil deGrasse Tyson or whoever. These are observations that I did myself or that my friends did. This was a
I
group
told you
effort to determine the
you
shape of
use
the Earth.
instruments that are fine-tuned. You could have
Fine
made up your own
instruments
instruments again.
doesn't mean that my
Those instruments are
observations are
NASA
valid.
instruments.
The fact that
The
my
cameras
instruments calibrate
instruments.
does not mean that my observations are invalid.
No, they're invalid. Accurate. Very much inaccurate.
How could a calibrated instrument render my results inaccurate if they comport with other instruments that show the exact same thing, which are literally just tubes of convex glass?
It was made by man, and man is prone to errors. So those instruments I made under the influence of some satanic occult made to blind
So
people.
telescopes are from Satan.
Occults are from Satan. And the few elite who are controlling this world are, under the,
Sorry, I zoned out for a sec.
working under.
What was made by
Sorry.
Satan?
I'm going to ask this question again. Are telescopes the result of satanic thinking?
Yeah, because, we look
They are.
back in history, Tower of Babel, the whole point of Satan is all this space exploration and everything, So I would say his influence that he's entered minds of people, try and use space exploration, to use.
So if you have a magnifying glass, or if you have a telescope, if you have a camera, hell, if you even have a smartphone, the lens that's in the telescope,
It's
camera,
good.
or smartphone is a product of Satan or satanic thinking.
It's science for the greater good, evil science for the good science. I think a magnifying glass is good because
I don't think there is
purpose
I
of
don't think you've demonstrated a clear distinction. I don't think you have.
rockets. I mean, what are rockets for, really, in science?
Going to space?
Rockets are to send objects into orbit.
To do what? People are suffering on Earth. That money can
Telecommunication,
be used for more important
GPS
projects.
navigation.
Like we can try and cure cancer. Use that money for
Yeah,
That's
the world.
currently developed on the International Space Station, yes.
Yeah. The International Space Station is literally leading the research in cancer and AIDS as well, and a few other diseases.
Also Alzheimer's.
The ability to do tests in a zero gravity environment has actually helped medical science quite a lot.
And also
But the
osteoporosis.
Yeah.
money that is pumped in is not as much as they pump in space exploration. And why are we exploring space, really? That should be the question.
Because
Why?
there's a lot of resources out there that could help humanity greatly.
We've only discovered about 4% of our own oceans, and
Yeah, we managed to fuck that up pretty well, didn't we?
No, we should know more about ourselves first before we can go to space. And if there is space anyway.
Well, space is 100% real, but we've kind of fucked up this planet, and we need to look for a new place. So, yeah.
No, the only way to solve a problem is use the problem itself. We are only going to space.
Do me a favor, go and tell every politician that. Yeah. Go and tell every politician that, and every company that just wants to make money. You go and tell them that that's how you solve the problem, and tell me how that goes.
Money, so it starts with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but just because I pay taxes doesn't mean I get to go up to someone and go, yeah, you need to stop producing carbon.
You have the right to know how the money is being used, but we don't.
Yeah,
they just do what they want.
Everything. I don't know how it works in your country, but when it comes to our country, we know exactly how much money NASA is getting. They
NASA represents the world. It doesn't present a single state.
Let me finish. They get half a penny for every dollar our government spends. Half a penny. And for that minuscule amount, we get a window into the universe. And you know what? That's money well spent.
We are spending money for something that's going to happen 100 years from now. So why can't we look at it? I mean, we have.
Why not have it happen now? Why do I have to wait 100 years? I would like the cure for cancer, arthritis, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, whatever. I would rather have that ASAP rather than waiting until it becomes, crippling to the point where we're literally having nursing homes filled with brain dead husks of people when they could have been saved, decades in advance.
And not thinking about the future is a silly thing to do anyway.
If we crippled NASA for the next 50 years, trust me, there would be no cancer in this world.
What?
People wouldn't.
If you did you just say if you crippled NASA, there would be no cancer?
We dissolved NASA. There would be no cancer in the next 5 years. I mean, they found the cure of COVID just in 6 months.
I mean, you do know that cancer has been around. Well, they recently discovered a mummy that was about 12,000 years old that had signs of cancer. So cancer's been around a lot longer than NASA.
Why would you dig up a mummy and then bring cancer in the world?
I mean, that's a fucking good question, to be honest. In 2020 and stuff, you probably shouldn't be digging up mummies with ancient cancer, and that was a stupid thing to do. I completely agree.
Also, cancer is more complex than a single virus.
Yeah.
Why dig up a mummy?
Cancer is more complex than a single virus. Make that clear. Make sure you scale the problems accordingly.
So, are you saying that basically, if they abolish NASA and use that money, they could cure cancer and stuff? Is that what you're saying?
I bet you, if you abolish NASA and you abolish the U.S., okay, we need the military, but can you imagine how much money is pumped in the U.S. military?
Well, about 20 times what NASA gets, I think. Probably even more than that, to be honest.
If we abolish NASA.
Yeah, if we abolish NASA... Right, so do me a favour. Look at the screen on your phone in front of you. That's an LCD screen, right? Do you know who invented that? NASA.
Mm-hmm.
I use an LED, more advanced.
Well, there's all the technology that...
So that people can support NASA. I mean, NASA doesn't have any shares in Apple, for example.
I think we found the
NASA have to do with
shit go haywire. Just read super chat. With it.
I think it's time that we kind of brought this to a close. Before we do that, I just wanted to ask you a few questions. Very simple questions. We call them the litmus test. So, if I have a triangle, right?
And that you're the host, but you had to counter me. Both of you are countering me right now, as it seems. Craig.
No, I was kind of just trying to get the conversation forward.
No, you're not doing it.
But like I said, we're gonna finish up now and read super chat stuff. But I wanted to just ask you a question before we do. Okay, it's just a few simple questions that we call the litmus test. So if I have a triangle, and that triangle has sides of 1, 1, and 1, what would the internal angles be?
I think I have nothing to do with the triangle because it shows that it's a pyramid, and the pyramid is a 10. of that.
Oh, whoa, wait, that is one of the best answers I've heard.
My religion, I wouldn't
Red,
say religion.
Reds, did you hear that?
We can put, yeah, we don't do pyramid. Trust me.
So you don't do triangles. Wow.
It's an I felt mad because I didn't want to look at
Are we going to argue against the concept of a triangle now?
Triangle means Satan, Reds.
Absolutely.
Oh,
You know, the people who... Okay, I think that you are a victim here at this point. You see, there's a thing called fear-mongering, and I would like to just leave you with this thought. Just digest it if you can. Some preachers out there will try to tell you that certain things, certain events, certain ideas are a sign of Satan. I want you to know that they are lying to you. One, because they're trying to push an agenda, and two, it's probably secondhand BS from something they were also taught as a child. What I'm telling you is this: think for yourself. Don't immediately jump to the idea that this is Satan or that is Satan just because they told you that was Satan or that is bad for you or that is bad for you over there. Just because they
own evidence, and I've had my own proof.
What I'm trying to tell you, dude, is this. What I'm trying to do is tell you this. It is imperative, I would say it is necessary for you to think for yourself. It seems to me that you are currently regurgitating stuff that either your pastor or priest told you. And I want you to know they are not the arbiters of reality. What they say should be secondary to reality. You should think for yourself. Only think for yourself. Don't let me tell you how to think. And only then will you
evil science. You're the one that's indoctrinated.
Science isn't evil, dude.
No, some part of it. Not all science.
No, science. When I say science, I mean something dictated by the scientific method, and that is most definitely not evil. The concept of evil doesn't even exist because I'm sorry to tell you, but neither does your God.
No, God exists, man. I mean, since kindergarten, we are taught the earth is round. We look at the balloon of the earth being round. We play with it all the time. You tell me when we are adults, it's going to be easy for someone to accept that, no, it's not round.
So would you say would you say that God is good and Satan is evil?
All the time. God is good all the time.
How many people in the Bible did Satan kill?
Plenty.
No, none, actually. How many people in the Bible did God kill? Wasn't it
I
like...
I remember him flooding an entire fucking planet. So.
Yeah, wasn't it all of humanity?
Pretty much.
No, God gives a free will. He taught those people, God to Noah.
God.
It was a free will. No, it was a free will.
Have the free will to, I don't know, not drown every living thing except for that which could fit on a fucking ark?
Well, I can only say he's God. Whatever he does, he is God.
How?
If he wants, like he says, he can wipe out the whole entire universe and create a better people. So just because God kills, we don't have to question that.
I think we fucking should question. Right. If your God is real, then your God is a petty, psychopathic, vindictive, horrible deity that should not be worshipped. You worship an evil deity.
That doesn't matter because he's God. It doesn't affect him.
So it doesn't matter if he's evil, right? Lovely, and that's where you get So that's where you get your moral compass from, is it? From someone that wiped out the whole of humanity?
Again, I want to repeat.
If Bill Gates wants to update Windows, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't question Gates.
Hang on. Do not let your pastor or your priest control your thoughts. I'm telling you, break away from that shit. Think for yourself. You'll be much happier, and you'll be a more productive member of society.
I'm not the one who is kissing. So who is full of the S?
Wait, sorry. Did you just say kissing is bad?
I'm not the one who is kissing. Just look at me. I'm cool. So who is the bad guy here? Who are the bad people here?
Wait, so because
Is it you or me?
because I kiss my wife, I'm bad.
I said kiss.
Kissing?
Cuss.
Yes.
Oh, you mean like swear
What is it?
words? Yeah, that's just called a language,
Exactly.
dude.
You're swearing.
Yeah, no. So if God is real, then He created swearing, so we should probably use it. Also, people that swear tend to have a higher intelligence because it means their lexicon is more advanced. So it's just
No.
a matter of you know.
God is a good God, you know. He gives
No,
free will.
he's really not. Have you read the Bible?
I've read the Bible. Yeah, let's do the Bible, man.
Cool. So
Let's do it.
why in the Bible does it say that it's okay to keep slaves?
I mean, if where does it say?
Quite clearly, it
slaves.
says that it's okay to keep slaves, and you can beat them if they don't do what you say. Also,
No, I think
why
you
does the
read- you
Bible
read-
say
you read
that
the wrong
women?
version of the
Why
Bible.
does it
Trust me,
also?
you should
Why
have
does the
read
Bible say that
King
women
James
shouldn't
version.
learn?
You should have
Why
read
is that a
King
thing?
James version. So the word slave there is not really what it means.
For fuck's sake.
So a slave isn't a slave.
Trust me. No, there are many versions that are biased. Bible versions that are
Oh,
biased.
so only
Trust
your
me,
version
you
is
read the wrong-
correct. Only the one that you read is
You-
correct. Now, what about the original translations of the Bible from Hebrew? That
think
determine what
trust-
the firmament is, for instance, and the firmament actually means expanse, not
Yep.
globe. I'm sorry, but you need to go back and look at your magic book because you don't know it very well.
There's one here in Genesis 1:14.
Yeah,
You know,
and
let
right.
there be light.
Wait, you only
Says, let
get
there be light.
you only get to read
In
out
the
stuff from the
firmament.
Bible if it specifically says the words "the earth is flat." How about that?
Sorry?
You can only read out something from the Bible if it specifically says the words "the earth is flat."
No. But, at the beginning of time, they used to believe the earth is flat.
No, they
But
didn't.
then, how was the Bible going to talk about
Well,
a flat earth?
if the
if
Bible
all there-
wasn't
All there ever is flat earth already.
wasn't most of the Bible, like at least the New Testament, written like, I don't know, 1800 years ago by sheep herders in the Middle East? And
Big mind brought up the
we've known the Earth was a globe for at least like 5,000-6,000
Nope.
years.
No way.
I mean, the ancient Greeks would disagree with you. So would the Egyptians and the Mayans. They'd all definitely disagree that the Earth was flat.
There's some interpretations then.
No, they literally, for instance, they calculated the circumference of the Earth. Good job, Eratosthenes. Well done on that.
So come again. They calculated what?
Have you never heard of the Eratosthenes experiment? Like, where an ancient Greek literally calculated the circumference of the Earth? And he got it pretty damn close as well?
And he had no much technology there.
No, he had a
Then-
stick. He had a stick.
I'm sure it will be debunked, just like gravity is
Why
going to
does-
be debunked.
Why does God tell me,
Time-
like,
Time moves
hang on, can you please tell me why God says I should put my dad to death if my dad says, let us go worship, like, a different God?
There's a New Testament, bro. It doesn't say that now. It doesn't apply to you, so don't worry about it.
It doesn't apply to me. I'm sorry, but so you're saying that the New Testament
No, don't worry
completely
about
overrides the Old Testament? Then why is there an Old Testament?
Because this is a new era. So
So
let's not
Did
talk
God
about slaves.
change his mind?
Let's not
Did
talk
God
about-
not get it correct the first time?
Yeah, oh my God.
Sorry?
Did God change his mind? Did he not get it right the first time?
No, God didn't change his mind. He used the Son to come and fix.
So God didn't change his
like-
mind when he wiped out humanity and started again.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
So God
Yeah,
didn't
he
change
would
his
do that.
mind when he wiped out humanity and started again. That was a real
Come
nice
again?
thing to do.
God telling
Come
me
again?
to kill my father if he says, let's go worship a different God, to you that is good.
I mean, he's God. You have to obey.
Why? Why do I
Why?
have to obey?
Mhm.
Why would I obey a petty, evil psychopath?
Look, let's put God in the concept of Bill Gates. Windows doesn't say anything. When he wants to make
Bill
an
Gates
update,
isn't God, he's a software
don't question.
engineer.
The software does not question what Bill wants to do with it. You just obey. He's
Yeah,
God.
but unlike
And our
God, Bill
duty is
Gates
to
actually
obey.
get results.
I'm not software. Wait, Reds, am I software?
I mean, according to some people in the chat, yeah.
I have been called CGI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much. I remember that.
So
Yes,
if God's real, all right, I've got a serious question for you here. If God's real and good and awesome and stuff, why did he give my baby sister multiple sclerosis? Why was my baby sister the youngest person in Europe to ever be diagnosed with multiple sclerosis? Why did he ruin my baby sister's life? Why?
You're living in the world that's not a good place.
No,
This
I
world
don't
is-
care about the world. I'm talking
No,
about
let me
my
answer.
baby, my baby
Let me
sister,
answer.
and God. Why did God give my baby sister multiple sclerosis?
Plus, we inherit sin. We are born with sin. Okay, so it's not God's problem that
Why am I
God
born
gave
with
Adam and Eve a free will. They sinned,
Hang on,
and that
hang on.
sin is carried
Hang on.
to everyone.
Question. Why am I born
So
with
it's not God.
What?
Why
Sorry?
am I born with sin?
Come again?
Why am I born with sin?
Because, like, we're a copy. We are all human beings. We are a copy of our forefathers. Adam and Eve.
Sin
What?
doesn't get passed in DNA.
Hang on. If there was an eccentric preacher parading around me and he was sentenced to death, I would do everything in my power to stop the murder of an eccentric preacher. So that's wrong. And also, Adam and Eve eating an apple, I was not consulted in them eating whatever fruit. I was not, advised, hey, is this a good idea, or we're going to be doing this or whatever. I was
There is hope.
not. I would. No one asked me for my opinion. So why am I to share in this secondhand sin with people who didn't listen to God or whatever, decided to pay attention to us talking snake or whatever the fuck it is this week?
Because of the New Testament.
Because of the New
Your
Testament
daughter
written
be-
1800
I
years
mean,
ago
if
by
only-
sheep farmers.
If only you were a Christian, that daughter can be even healed if you
No,
like.
my sister.
You can Google,
I'm
you can
sorry,
Google
but
scorn dog and take the
Again,
kid for
again,
prayer
I was
or
not
something.
consulted
So
in
it's the
whatever
foolishness
bad
of
thing
parents
people did
that
in the
plunge
past.
their children.
Why should I pay the price for
You
their
don't-
bad decisions?
You don't
Yeah.
want to be Christians. You don't want to be born again, and your kids.
No, I don't want to believe in an
Yeah.
absolute lie. Why would I do that? Now, so let's
No,
take
try.
a let's take a hypothetical situation here, right? I've got two hospital beds. All right, I've got two hospital beds, right? Both patients are on the verge of dying, right? One of them has a group of priests around praying to God that they're saved from the horrible coronavirus. Praying to God. We don't need the vaccine. We don't need the oxygen. We're just praying with all of our might to God. And the other person has oxygen given to them. They've been given the vaccine, so their body's building up an immune system, and they're using all of medical science to try and heal them. Which of those two people is most likely to live?
As Christians, we've got a saying: prayer without works is dead. So you can't just be praying to God. You can use other mediums, because, like I talked about, good science. I mean, the people who made the oxygen and everything. That's good science. I mean, so prayer without works is dead.
So what you're saying is
You have
prayer is
to combine
useless.
the
I
two.
completely agree with you. Thank you.
Because God will use the doctor to heal you.
Yeah,
So
you know
don't
no
have
one's
to
listening
reject
when you pray, right?
to be on life support.
So
Everything good comes from God. So don't ignore that oxygen time. Ignore that.
God's not
You
real.
being, if you being
Rocket.
brainwashed is a thing that came from God, then no, I disagree with you. Not everything that comes from God is good in that
You
case.
guys
No.
started the
Greg,
bit here. You
Can
started
we,
the bit here.
can we go
I
ahead
know
and
there's something good in
Yeah.
you and saying,
Yeah.
telling you, come back, but you still
Okay.
wanna.
Right. Sizzle Deft, I
Leave the rest.
thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to just have any final thoughts and say goodbye to the audience. So over to you. 2 minutes. Just say what you need to say.
That's me.
Yeah. Just any final thoughts.
Okay. So,
Final
just
words.
to come to a conclusion, against popular belief, the Earth being flat is more realistic than a spinning globe going at millions, billions of speed around the star, which is also moving, expanding as the Big Bang theory suggests. That's insane. It doesn't work. So God is real. If you want to know about the shape of the earth and everything, go to the Bible. Science is made by man, and man is prone to errors. Man will lie to you. It's been a pleasure. Sizzle Deft.
Thank you. Have a nice day. You're
can
completely
follow
wrong
my-
about absolutely
You
everything.
can follow my Facebook, page.
Yeah,
Sizzle
I don't worry.
Deft.
I'm following you on Facebook. The stuff you say
Yeah,
is absolutely hilarious.
What's the link, man? What's the link?
Feel free to pop into the chat and post the link. You're absolutely welcome to do that.
All right, you guys, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Sizzle Deft. At least you've been pleasant to talk to. I completely think you're wrong about everything you say, but you haven't been an absolute asshole, which is appreciated.
Life would be boring. Life would be boring. Trust me. If we were all on the same side, life would be boring.
Okay, peace.
Peace. One out.
Wow. I'm sorry, Reds.
You fucking should be, asshole.
Oh my god. At least the language barrier wasn't as bad as I thought it would be when he first started talking.
Everyone in the chat now hates you.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sorry, guys. You know I love you very, very much. But I understand that you would hate me.
I'm just letting you know, you deserve all the hate.
Yeah,
You
you're
deserve
absolutely. But it does bring up an interesting point that this is pretty much all Flerf's got left, you know? Like, we've been so good at our job that the people that were up for debates in the start, like Sleeping Warrior and all that, and even journalism, you managed to get him. That doesn't happen anymore. The big guys know there's no point in debating because they're going to get made looking ridiculous. All you have is these complete newbies that I have to hunt the bowels of Facebook and Instagram for, that are actually willing to come on debate because they think that they know what they're talking about and are going to win. But
well, in all honesty, I just feel sorry for this guy.
Yeah, he was a victim. You're right.
I don't know, I don't know his life. I don't know his situation. I don't know any of that. But it seems to me that he might live in a part of the world where the preaching goes a step further than what you and I would consider okay.
Yeah.
The preaching goes so far that it actually legitimately ruins people's lives. Like, we're talking about the type of preaching that tells people condoms are evil. Don't wear a condom because that's a good fucking idea. Or, hey, if a scientist tells you something, you must always look at them with suspicion, even if they have a life-saving vaccine from the World Health Organization. That was made by scientists, so you have to look at them with suspicion.
Is that good or evil science, though? Remember, they're different.
Yeah, of course. It just seems to me that this dude has been brainwashed to such an extent that he may be permanently fucked. And it sucks, but I don't think there's anything that we can do for him. All we can do is tell him that
he's wrong.
Look, to break out of that, you need to death grip they have on your mind and just think for yourself.
Yeah.
Think, hey, guess what? The world isn't this big scary place that is ruled by the NASA overlords, and maybe the people, the scientists who are with the World Health Organization aren't actively trying to bring you to the dark side, to the side of Satan or whatever.
No, you're right. And I think with people like that, being too mean and horrible to them isn't the right way, because he is a victim, but I still think someone like that could maybe be saved if they could learn to leave religion behind. Like he was just full of denialism. You present all this evidence, and his answer to it was, well, yeah, that's a lot of evidence, but the Earth's still not a globe. It was like...
I'm glad that you were able to accept that I did bring, quote, a lot of evidence.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that, at least. But everything else, it just made me feel sorry for him. Everything else that happened made me feel really, really sorry for him. And again, I feel for him. I hope he breaks out of the mental lock that religion has on him. I just want to make clear that I don't hate him. I wish him nothing but the best, and everything I say is for his own good, whether he knows it or not.
Yeah.
Break away from religion. Break away from these priests or pastors that feed you bullshit on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Think for yourself. Think for yourself. Only then will you truly be free.
And you are right that you know, these are the kind of flat earthers that you do kind of wish the best, but it still doesn't help the problem of the reason I came across him was because he was posting a bunch of flat earth nonsense on Facebook, you know? And that is dangerous and needs to be stopped, you know, because, you know, kids and vulnerable people, everyone in the fucking granny has a Facebook account, you know, and you can be sucked into stuff like that. So yeah, he is a victim clearly of religion, most definitely, of indoctrination and then of flat earth indoctrination. But that doesn't give him a free pass from, you know, being told, no, you shouldn't be posting that. This is why it's wrong. Stop being so stupid.
I mean, the fact is this. I grew up in a very religious household. Had my first communion, had confirmation, all that fucking shit. I went through the motions. And at a certain point in my life, I would say that, yeah, I believed it. Anyone can break out of it. I don't believe there is a single person on this earth that can't break out of it.
No.
I'm pretty sure that it'll be harder for some people compared to other people. Some people may have a harder time than I did, but it is possible. I can break out of it. They can break out of it. Anyone can break out of it. It's just having the courage to say, you know what? I'm willing to accept even the possibility that the Bible may be bullshit. It's not a thing that I accept right now, but it is a possibility.
So when
again, not something I accept, but it is a possibility, and I want to see what actually comports with reality. What does the evidence actually support? What happens when I operate under the not assumption that all scientists are evil?
That's all great and everything, Reds, but I'm pretty sure that when you were born, your family thought you were the Antichrist. I
mean, pretty much. I mean, let's face facts here.
I know it's the afterbirth, but that could work.
Yeah,
well.
Exactly. I was the exception to God's perfect creation, apparently.
Yeah.
But like I said, what would happen if that person were to operate not under the assumption that all scientists are evil, not under the assumption that everything that scientists say, you know, is a seed of Satan or whatever? I think he would feel fucking great. And believe me, if any of you guys are currently underneath the thumb of religion or the incoherent ramblings of your pastor, try just for a day to accept the idea that the Bible may be bullshit and just see what happens. With that, that's the only thing I can say to help that guy out and other people out.
Reds, thank you for coming on and debating him today. You did an amazing job, as you always do. So thank you for that. And everyone watching, I want to say thank you very much. I really, really appreciate you being here. It means the world to me. The support is constantly mind-blowing. Should be a new video out on Wednesday, episode 51 of Flerfs Are Idiots, talking about Sleeping Warrior and how stupid he's being lately. So look out for that. And then the following week, I've got a collaboration with Brainy Beaver about Austin Whitsitt. And then the following week, I've got a collaboration with, I can't remember who I'm doing it with now. Who is that next one with? It's another collaboration. I can't remember who with right now. Oh, Creaky Blinder. Yeah, that bold guy. I've got a collaboration with Creaky Blinder the week after about Nathan Thompson. So that should be fun. Thank you very much for all the support via Super Chats. It allows this channel to continue. And that is amazing, but I know not everyone is able to support financially. The best way to help the channel is to share all the streams and videos that Reds and I pump out on Facebook and Twitter and all the good social medias. Don't worry, Trump won't see them because he's banned from all of them. But I'm going to read the rest of the super chats. I'm going to get out of here for tonight. Tristan Stevens for £2 says, get Dally back for a COVID debate. Dally has blocked me because I told him forcing his kids to not wear a mask is child abuse. Fohammer 335 $5 says, for the love of God, make it stop. This is dumber than Rad Vlad's own evidence debunking him. Vlad for dumb fuck of the year. Yeah, Vlad's fucking stupid, but dumb fuck of the year? No. My vote for dumb fuck of the year this year will be Austin Whitsett. Don't you worry. Tristan Steve, never on that one. General E Shady for $2 Australian says, check out Lindsay Harris's channel for laughs. I will, don't worry. Fuck YouTube, $5 says, so you base your science on a book written in the Bronze Age? Yeah, and like I said, to quote Professor Dave, a book says a thing, big fucking deal. General E Shady for $2 Australian says, poor guy, can't watch anymore, take care everyone. Cheers for hanging around as long as you did, General E Shady. I understand stupidity can be frustrating. I could hear Red's dying slowly inside.
Everything that is my being is just, just fucking disintegrated, crumbled, turning into sludge.
Sorry, not sorry. Then we got Richard Pertrezev for $5 says, going to watch Brainy make fun of stupid insurgent, but have fun, Reds and FTFE. Tell this guy to stop taking camera and audio lessons from JM Truth. If Brainy's still streaming after this, please everyone go over and check him out. One of my mods popped the link to that stream there, it would be great. Mind Duck for $5. Somewhere out in the wide world, a COD 4 game is missing a bad guy NPC. Oh, I didn't realise what that said until I read it. Free Ron for $5 says, this is quite possibly the most pathetic showing of a Flat Earth I have ever seen. Yeah, that's just Flat Earth in general. AlienX Gaming became a member, thank you very much. Robert Williams for $5 says, this guy's a network engineer. What are the layers of the OSI model? I can guarantee you he wouldn't know. Fuck YouTube for $5 says, the portion of math that's biased is basic trigonometry. Reds, could you say basic trigonometry for me?
I can't because there's a mess everywhere. I'll be right back. I mean, God, wow, that was a big one. I got to hang on one second. I gotta go grab a towel, and I need someone to tell me. Hang on. Mom.
Ooh, the Athens 619 for $5 says, if math is biased, and if you're an engineer, which do you use or throw out? 2021 Dumb Fuck of the Year nominee, please. Yeah, he's certainly stupid, but not special like a lot of the others. Mind Duck for $5 says, theory, his village used to use his infant skull soft spot to start campfires with a stick and some dried grass. I think it's a hypothesis that could have some valid facts behind it. Monochromatic Light Source for £9.99, thank you, says, hey, FTFE, can you give this super chat to Sizzle Dick to pass on to his community since they've given up their bandwidth this evening in support of their village idiot? No, he's not getting the money. I don't pay flat earthers. Pete and Pete, pay attention. General E Shady for $2 Australian. He came back. It's just a bunch of evidence. Sizzle Deft 2021. Yeah, it read just a bunch of evidence. Good job. AlienX Gaming. AlienX Gaming for $5 says, God can do anything. Can he make a rock that he can't lift?
Greg, I need you to stop thinking about it right now.
My head! I don't like you anymore. Fuck YouTube for $2 says, FTFE, take off your glasses, they're satanic. No, I can't fucking see. Great. I'd read the next super chat, but I need these. Andrea Clark for £2 says he doesn't do triangles. OMG, best answer ever. Yeah, I'm fucking clipping his answer to the litmus test. I don't do triangles because pyramids are satanic. Vrillin for $5 Australian says, no, you're done. Yeah, he's done. Free Ron for $5 says, Reds is wrong. I love you. That was the most hilarious debate ever. Reds, someone says you're wrong.
Yeah, well, they can go fuck himself.
And last super chat from C4 for $2 says, what's a condom? Yeah, that's what his mum said, maybe. I'm not sure. Thank you very much, guys.
Owned.
I had fun. I had fun tonight, even if Red's soul was slightly, zapped away. Not that he had a soul. Yeah, he clones like Reds don't have souls, so
Annihilate.
I do apologise for everyone that had any facepalm injury. Reds, thank you again for coming on, and it's awesome to have you on the channel with me.
I hope you step on a Lego tonight.
Yeah, I probably will. I've got 2 kids, you know that, right? Have you any idea how many fucking Lego and plugs and shit I constantly fucking stand on?
I hope they leave a trail of Legos all the way to your room and to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So when you get up in the middle of the night and you really, really have to shit, you're going to be stepping on those things. And I bet a little bit of the brown fudge is going to leak out.
You're probably right. And with that lovely image, everyone, have an amazing evening. I will see you. There might actually be another debate on Wednesday as well. I'll keep you updated. But until then, remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. 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 Fight